Hey, how are you guys doing today? This is Dawnna St. Louis. What's up, Facebook family? I love my fam. What's up, family? How are you guys doing today? This is actually one of those talks that I rarely do. Like, as much as I talk about making sure that you create the lifestyle business that you want, making sure that you're living the life that you want to live, it's very rare that I actually come on here specifically and tell people how to the specific tactics, right? So I always go into strategy, but this is going to be specifically about tactics, things that you can actually do right now, things that I tell my clients to do when they come to me or they want to be clients and they're like, I don't have money and I know you can help me. So what specifically do I need to do? And I give them very, very, very specific things to do. And they work. They work. Like, people just go off and go, holy crap, I can't believe you told me to do that. And I just made a whole bunch of money and oh my God, it worked, right? So I'm going to tell you specific things to do along with the mindset. So here's the thing, because sometimes people go do this and what they're missing is it can't just be the action. It can't just be going and doing this. There has to be a mindset behind it, because when you don't have a positive money mindset, it doesn't matter what I tell you to do, you're going to always be broke. Like, seriously, like I had to get my money right about get my mind right about money for money to actually flow into me. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you guys very specific things that you need to do right now. So, because there is nothing more frustrating than knowing that you need that, the dollars, you need the money to get ahead. You know that you need the money to get ahead, and you know you need money to go in the right direction. And there's nothing more frustrating than knowing that there is someone sitting there, they have the answer, they want to help you, but at the same point, they're going, listen, you got to have some skin in the game, right? Like, and the problem is you don't have any skin to put in the game. Like, you're sitting there going, but girl, I can't pay my light bill, right? Or whatever it is. And I know there are some people who go, well, I won't work with anybody who doesn't have money, period, the end. And don't get me wrong, I don't either. However, I will work with people who are willing to do the work to get the money, and they're willing to recognize that they have to do the work and they want to do the work, because I'm all about people who take action. I am a student of Da Vinci. I have been for almost all my life. I'm a student of great philosophers and thinkers. And one thing that Da Vinci said, and I'm going to loosely quote him, was that people of note rarely waited for things to happen to them. They went out and happened to things. So the people that I work with, they go out and happen to things. They're like, no, we're gonna make this happen. We're not gonna sit up here and wait for this magical windfall from, my dead Aunt Sally. They're not waiting for that. They're actually going, no, I need to make that windfall happen. And so I know there's a lot of people that wait for those opportunities, but there are other people out there, like, for example, Reese Witherspoon is a fantastic example. Like, in Hollywood, no one really wanted to give her the opportunities to be on the types of movies that she wanted to be on. So she started making them herself. She's like, screw this, right? And it wasn't, and everybody's like, yeah, but she was a millionaire. Actually, you would not believe how much money she took out in loans to make some of her movies. And once she did, and I mean, she was investing, millions of her own, but she also had to take out loans to make those movies happen with no guarantee that she was going to get a return on investment, other than she had to make that investment happen, that return happen. And so that's what I'm talking about. But I'm going to tell you guys how to do some very, very specific things. And, most people screw up and they throw up a shingle and they're like, so now I'm going to be a coach. And, and they think, oh, I'm going to be a coach and now I'm going to make money. And that's just not how it works at all. It does not work like that. Or they put up a shingle and they do the hope and pray strategy. They hope for a new contract. They hope for a new event. They hope for a new client. They hope for all these things to come through. And then they pray that when they do, that those people have money to pay them on time, or that they pay them within a certain amount of time. And then after that, they mess up even more, because they're like, oh, they paid me. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go and pay everyone else. In other words, I'm going to pay all my bills. The first thing you have to do is you have to pay yourself. So you got to have your money mindset has to be right, right? I talked to somebody today, And everybody said, hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Hi, Kelly. Hi, Donna. How are you doing? So everybody said to this one guy, and I mean, not like once or twice. They're like, listen, you are right now headed this direction, dude. You are headed up. But in that direction, you could sputter, you could fall out, you can make some critical mistakes. And this isn't me telling him this. Other people have told him this, like, you need to go work with Dawnna. Dawnna will drag you kicking and screaming to $1 million, but she's going to get you there. And she's going to help you not only with what you're talking about, who you're talking to, but your mindset around it, and ensure that how you have this package is something that can sell. And she's even going to help you with the mindset of selling. Even if you don't like to sell, she's going to help you with the mindset of selling. And everybody, and I don't mean like 1 or 2 people have told him this. I mean like 8 or 9 people have told him this. And he goes, oh, well, I have too much money going out into bills right now. And so I can't make an investment of, $4,000 to $5,000, which I get. But his mindset is wrong, because that's not the mindset. If somebody told you, listen, all you got to do is show up to Tallahassee, and because this is a guaranteed winning lottery ticket, all you got to do is get to Tallahassee. You will do everything you got to do to get to Tallahassee within a certain time to be there. It's a prioritization mindset, first of all, and it's a financial mindset that you are going to make that magic happen. We are so concerned with getting the 1 in a billion opportunity that we miss the one opportunity, which is right here. I guarantee you that the money that I invest myself, I'm going to get that back. A lottery ticket ain't going to give me shit except for a crappy piece of paper. But investment in myself, oh, I'm getting that 10x ROI. I guarantee you. And let me tell you, the people in my workshop, so this will be funny. And actually, one of the ladies is on here. Her name is Kelly. And Dawnna Ramstead is on here too. So anyway, there was homework that had to be done. And they had 4 weeks to do this homework. So we always give homework 4 weeks ahead of the retreat. And so this homework had to be done. And I said, and the class is $3,700 if you're staying in the mansion, and it's $2,700 if you're not staying in the mansion. So it's $3,700, and people are staying in the mansion. And I said, listen, let me tell you, for those of you who are in the boot camp, let me tell you how to waste $3,747. Don't do your homework. And I put that and everybody said, I had people call me back, was like, well, damn. Like, seriously? Damn. You just said that. I'm like, dude, for 4 weeks, we give you coaches, we give you books, we give you videos, we give you homework. We don't have that you can only call us on Thursday or whatever. We're like, whenever you are stuck, we are right here. Write a message in the group, pick up the phone and call me, text me. We don't have this thing where you can only talk to us for an hour a week, or we just get together with the group. No, you can pick up the phone and call anybody anytime you want. Get help for 4 weeks. So let me tell you, for those of you who aren't doing your homework, let me tell you exactly how you're going to waste $3,747. And I said it just like that. And all of a sudden, everybody's like, you know what? I got to go do my damn homework. Like, people suddenly changed their mind. Like, it became the most important thing to them. Because I was, for me, it's very serious about getting people from struggling and not making it, and taking all their money and investing it in their bills, rather than taking their money and investing it in their future. Like, not that you shouldn't pay your bills, but let me tell you something. A credit score is only good if you need more credit. You know what is better than a credit score? Cash. Cash is amazing. I like cash. 1 second, let me grab the paper. Okay, so I have my paper here. I had a paper I had to grab. So I want to make sure that I don't go off on a tangent, because y'all know I'll tangent like a mofo. All right, so I'm going to tell you how to make a quick $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $7,000. I'm going to tell you how to leverage opportunities to make that money quickly. And yes, I'm not a fool. This is a little self-serving. I have literally from June 5th to June 9th, I am putting on wait, what am I doing? Y'all listen to me rant. Y'all probably like, well, who the hell is she? Let me back up. My name is Dawnna St. Louis. right? Like I'm gone for like 20 minutes. Like, who is she? My name is Dawnna St. Louis. And besides being an international keynote speaker, and specifically, I'm going to say this, we've been playing with this for a while. Is it magnetism? Is it charisma? Is it persuasion? We're playing with this brand. But at the end of the day, I teach people how to get other people to do just about anything they want. That's really what it comes down to. Is it magnetism? Is it charisma? Is it persuasion? We've been playing with that, but that's what I teach people how to do, right? So I don't think charisma is something that you're just born with it. There's actually a science behind it, magnetism too. And I teach people how to leverage it. I teach people how to create that contagious effect so that other people want to do whatever you want. So besides being an international keynote speaker, and I do travel all over the world doing this, I still do anywhere from 20 to 40 engagements a year. And the reason that number fluctuates is because I do also run a business, and that business specifically helps entrepreneurs either go from struggling to making consistent money, or if they're making consistent money, taking their business to the next level. How in the hell do I have the authority or right or ovarian audacity to tell people how to do this? Because I've done it. I built a $250 million business intelligence consultancy from scratch. And so I know a lot of the ins and outs of not only the companies that I work with and the challenges they went through and how I consulted them, but knowing how to do it from a very, very, very small bootstrapped business to a very, 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 very large business. And by the way, large businesses aren't made up of anything other than smaller departments, which are small businesses doing the same thing over and over again. Just saying. So anyway, that's what I do. If you want to learn more about the things that I'm offering right now, which is the Speaker Launch Bootcamp, which you can go to speakerlaunchbootcamp.com, and that's specifically for people who want to take their expertise, and they are smart because they're like, what? Wait, I can make money by marketing my expertise as a speaker, and they're going to pay me to market? What? Go to speakerlaunchbootcamp.com. Now, the bootcamp is coming January 5th through the 9th, and that's if you're staying on site at the mansion. That's only open to 8 people. If you're staying off site, classes are the 6th, 7th, and 8th. Then there is the accelerator. Now, the accelerator is for people who already have a business, they're already making money, or they are at a level within an organization where they're vice president or above. In other words, they've managed budgets, they've managed people, and what they're doing is they're coming to figure out how to even put a business in place. So we work with those types of people there, so a higher level of people. So we have people who are just starting, and we have people who've got it going. So those are the two that we work with. 8 people can only get in the accelerator, and you'll find that at mansionretreats.com. But for a lot of people, they're looking for the Speaker Launch Bootcamp. And also check out speakerlaunchformula.com because that is the webinar. All right, let's get into this. So there is a catch in regards to what I'm about to teach you. The first catch is that you have to be smart. No stupid people allowed. So let's talk about what you have to be smart about. What you have to be smart about first is you have to be crystal clear about what you're going to do with this money, because this is not necessarily what I would tell you to do as an ongoing business thing. This is really, I want you to do it like once or twice. Maybe it's kind of one of those things where you do it in a pinch. I wanted to buy a car, and because I wanted to buy a car and I don't like to spend my own money on depreciating assets, I did this in order to make money really quick. And then I went and put, I think it was like $7,500 down on the car. And then I did it a couple other times and paid off the car in like 6 months. Right. And so so you have to be very clear about what you're going to do with the money. This is not what I would call a bill paying tactic. This is what I would say, you take this tactic and you use this money to invest in yourself. So therefore, when you're making that investment, you take the money from the investment and then you use those monies to pay the bills, right? So this is for an investment strategy. This is not something you do all the time. It is, again, maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times a year, and that's it. So you want to be very specific about what you're going to do with the money once you make the money. And by the way, you will make the money extremely quickly. So it can be kind of something that people kind of like to get hooked on to doing. So I tell them, don't do it too much, because then you just become, this tactical thing, and you can't do it forever, and people don't grow from there. All right. So you have friends. So if you have friends and your friends need a little investment money as well, share this video, and give me some love. Because if you're watching and you're like, oh my gosh, she's about to give me some tips that I could really use, then let me know that you're at least listening. So give me comments, let me know you're there, give me love, and let's do this. All right. So I want you to think about right now, get your pen and paper. I want you to think right now, there are at least 3 things that I can think of off the top of my head, within LinkedIn or within business, that people 100%, no questions asked, have to do in front of other people. And if they do it poorly, they're going to look like an ass. So think about that. I can name at least 3 things that people in business have to do in front of other people. And if they do it poorly, they'll look like an ass. So think about that for a second. If you had to think about something that someone had to do in business and they had to do it in front of others, and if they did it poorly, they would look like an ass, what would that thing be? If you could think of anything. So the first thing I think of course, is public speaking, right? And the reason I think of that one is because if people do public speaking in front of other people and they do it and they do it in a bad way, then everybody talks about how shitty it was. They're like, holy crap, that guy, like the whole time he just stuttered and said, and he couldn't figure out how to put his message together, and his message made absolutely no sense. So that's one. The other one is presentations. Not the skill of standing and giving the presentation, but actually the PowerPoints. Like, holy crap. I've seen people with the shittiest PowerPoints ever in business, right? And so that's a number 2. And then number 3, the thing that people really worry about in business is their copy on their LinkedIn profile and even on their resume. They feel like they're poor writers. And if you are a poor writer in business, people notice it and they talk about it and they think differently about you. So the 3 areas in business that people can get knocked down quickly, presentations, speaking, and writing. Those are the 3 because it is so public. Everyone sees it, and it's recognized right away. Now, a number 4, and I'm going to put this number 4 a little lower, is their appearance, right? But I'm going to put that one a little lower just because I think that's a different type of skill. But let's talk about those first 3. Presentations, speaking, and writing. By far, if you cannot give a good presentation, if you cannot communicate well, and if you cannot write well in business, you are judged harshly and people will not take you seriously, and your chances of moving up are not that good. Which means that people in business are willing to invest in this particular skill. And it also means that their company is willing to invest in them improving upon these skills. Right? So this is kind of like super basic. So how do you do this? First of all, you have to have one of those skills, right? So I know how to do rockstar presentations, I know how to do kick-ass copy, and I know how to deliver a good speech. So the first thing that I would tell you to do is put together a really quick, really easy presentation skills class or writing class or a speaking class. That's it. It doesn't have to be like, people are always like, oh, but I have to have a website and I have to have a brand and I have to have oh my God, freaking cut it out, dude. It doesn't have to be this complicated. Like, let's keep this really simple. All you really have to do, and we're not talking about people who are standing up and giving presentations like we give presentations. We're talking not like speakers. We're talking about people who have to give a presentation like in front of 8 other people inside of a boardroom, right? We're talking about people who have to send emails. We're talking about people who have to stand up and maybe just tell their status report on a weekly basis. So they're not standing up in front of thousands of people. They're talking to like 8, but still they're struggling at it. And their company wants them to get better. So all you really have to do is put on a quick little webinar All you got to do is say, I'm putting on a 3-hour workshop on presentation skills. I'm putting a 3-hour workshop on how to deliver a better message. I'm giving a 3-hour workshop on how to create kick-ass copy for your, email, presentation, LinkedIn profile, whatever. That's it. That's it. That's all you got to do. How much do you charge? $250. The reason this number works so well, let me do that better. $247. Here's the reason. First of all, almost every single solitary person in business can get approval for a $250 class. Just about everyone. When you say $247 and you put on one class, just one class, all you got to do is take 10 days. And in 10 days, I did this. In 10 days, I filled up my $250 class with 30 people. I worked for 3 hours. I made $7,500. I gave a 3-hour presentation. I gave a 3-hour writing class. 3-hour class on how to write a good email. Swear to God. The other one I did was a 3-hour class on how to have a good sales conversation. It was a 3-hour class. I charged $250 to it. The second one, I had 40 people in it. I made $10,000. So there's 2 classes. I made $17,500. It took me 10 days to fill that class up with 30 people. How did I fill it up? I literally just put a post on LinkedIn every day. I went to PowerPoint. I made a picture. I changed the picture. I put the picture online. And I set up something where people could sign up. I'm not kidding you. And you can use Meetup to create a sign up that people have to pay for. Not kidding you. $247 per class. 30 people in the class. Set it for 3 hours. Make one of those hours during their lunch hour, especially if they're at work. So you're going to do a 11, 12, and 1. People freaking love it. And they ate it up. They came to the class. It had a replay. They could watch it anytime they wanted. The replay I put on Vimeo because I already had a Vimeo account. Are you kidding me? I had so many people that showed up to that class. So that's one thing you can do. Here's another thing that I did. Okay, so as a speaker, and this really applies to people who are speakers. So if you're a speaker, most people make the mistake as a speaker of saying, I'm going to sell my $20 book at the back of the room. If you want to make $5,000 off that $20 book, you have to sell a shit ton of copies. You don't want to do that. You don't want to sit there and be trying to sell. First of all, you don't want to lug 250 books from you from point A to point B. Second of all, each one of those books probably cost you $5. So you actually didn't make $20 a book. You only made $15 a book, right? Not even to talk about the credit card fees that you got hit with. So now you didn't even make $15 a book. Why are you trying to hawk a $20 book at the back of the room? It's totally not worth it. This is what you want to do instead. So with one of my books, I have a book called The 6 Kick-Ass Strategies of the $1 Million Entrepreneur. Instead of just selling a $20 book, what I did was I took the book, and within the book, I put a piece of paper, and that paper was their code to get into my webinar. That was a 3-week webinar. And during that 3-week webinar, I walked them through the 6 kick-ass strategies of the $1 Million Entrepreneur. I'm sorry, it was a 6-week strategy, 6-week webinar. I sold that webinar for $800. $797. So I sold that webinar for $797. I was speaking at an event for free. And there were, let's say 45, 50 people in the room. So 45, 50 people in a room. I sold 10 of these. No, I sold 12 of these. So I made $9,600. So I didn't sell the book was something I gave them. I rolled in with 20 books. If you wanted a book, you had to buy a webinar. And for the people who said they couldn't afford the webinar, I had a second package, but only after the webinar was sold out. I made $9,600 off of a free event because I sold a book with a piece of paper in it that said I had a webinar that was coming up and it was going to be a 6-week webinar. And by the way, I pre-recorded the webinar, so the webinar was evergreen. And it still sits there today. I could sell that webinar right now on this video. I could. The problem is that people aren't thinking smarter. They're not thinking smarter about what they currently have in their toolbox. They're looking for how can they sell their, kidney on eBay. You don't have to sell your kidney on eBay. You have a brain. Sell that. Like, sell the things that you currently have at your disposal that you're currently doing every day to be successful. The other thing that I sold was, I said, I had this thing, $100. For $100, I would go and I would do a complete review of someone's website, and I would include 5 pages of their website. And I did that again. Why? Because what I do is when I do these little things, it's because there's something that I want to invest in. And I don't want to necessarily take my money. I want to use other people's money to make that investment. And so to make that investment, so I said for $100, I would go and do a video review of your website. And I would tell you specifically what was wrong, what was good, what you could improve, and how to improve it. And the video was no more than maybe 10 or 15 minutes. And I went through 5 pages on someone's website, and I gave them very specific things. I never wrote down a thing. It was $100. I cannot tell you how many people came back at me and said that was the best $100 they spent. Here was the problem. I had to do this for 100 websites because I had over 110 people that took me up on that offer. I made 10 grand. It was 110 people. How long did it take me? Quite honestly, it didn't take me that long. I did it for a day. And I didn't even work the whole day through. But my point is that it's an expertise that I have. It's something that I know how to do. I know how to go and look. I used to be a web developer. I know how to develop websites. I can tell you when your copy is all banged up and when you're not going to sell based on that copy and when your copy is going to sell, right? I am a professional copywriter. So my ability to go through and look at someone's stuff and tell them what works and what doesn't, what sells and what doesn't, for me is really, really easy. For other people, it's like, oh my God, they're pulling out their hair. $100? People are, well, $97. So for $97, people were like, are you kidding me? Okay, I'll do that. You are missing your opportunities to invest in bigger things because you're only turning around and looking at the dollars you currently have in your account and you're figuring out how to spend your money. That is stupid. Smart investors never invest their own money. They invest someone else's money. And I just gave you 3 ways to go and invest someone else's money into your future. That's what you want to do. If you're thinking about looking in your account and figuring out how to come up with the money, you're doing it all wrong. That's not how you do it. And you guys know I don't come in here and I rarely do these very tactical, hey, this is how you make money. People always ask me, Dawnna, how'd you get from living in the car? I freaking invested in myself. And I did very specific things to do that. I never gave up my integrity and my intelligence. I used my integrity and my intelligence in order to make money, in order to have the money to invest in myself. And when people tell me, by the way, let me go ahead and just get really real on your ass. When people say the following to me, and it flips me out every time, when they say, you know what, Dawnna, the problem is that I don't have the money to invest in myself because basically I'm putting all my money in bills. My very first investment when I was living in a pay-by-the-week hotel because I had made it up out of my car, the very first investment I made in myself was in a book that cost me 2 weeks' paycheck. 2 weeks' paycheck. Not kidding you. This book cost me, and by the way, 2 weeks' paycheck at the time for me was a whopping $250 because I wasn't making shit at all. So $250. I took $250 and I went and purchased a book. I want you to think about your 2 weeks' paycheck and using that to buy a book. So I went and spent $250 on a book. I spent 2 weeks' paycheck on a book. Not for someone to teach me the shit that was in the book. Not for somebody to walk me through the book holding my hand and make sure that I knew what was in there. Not for me to go on social media because social media wasn't even around at the time for me to Google someone because Google wasn't around at the time for them to help me. No, I literally spent that money on a damn book. So when people tell me, Dawnna, you just don't understand. Bullshit, I don't understand. I lived in my fucking car. I understand. Nick is absolutely right. Investing in yourself, because if you can't, then why should I? And I get people all the time, it's like, Dawnna, you should just believe in me. You don't even believe in yourself. Now, people might say, well, Dawnna, how'd you get the $250 to go and get that book? You know what I did? I washed cars. I saw the book. I knew I wanted the book. And I knew that it was going to cost me $250, and I knew I didn't have it. So what I did was every day after work, I offered to wash the cars. That's right. All humility, all put aside. I offered to wash the cars of the people that work for the company. Our CEO drove a Ferrari. And I told him, listen, I told him straight up, I said, listen, I want to get this book. And I'm going to get the book now, but I need to be able to pay for it. And in order to pay for it, I got to do extra work. And I'm not asking you for money. I am asking you to let me wash your car. And he let me wash his car. And so I washed his car every day I washed his car, not every day. I washed his car once a week. That was $20. Well, guess what? So did his other executives. So now I have these other people that let me wash their car. So the first week, I washed 5 cars. I made $100. The second week, I washed 8 cars. I washed 8 cars, made $160. The book cost $250. I had $260. So other than taxes, that book was covered. I used their money to invest in what I wanted because I knew I didn't have the money to do it. Most people are making the mistakes of ignoring their skills completely and doing the extra, the side hustle, in order to make the money so they can invest in themselves. And then they get to retirement, and then they get to these places where they're like, I'm going to quit my job. And then they're like, and this is all the money I have. I do not want you to look in your bank account to find the money. Stop doing that. I want you to be smarter about that. You have these skills. There are people who want the skills that you have. There are people who work for the government, by the way, who know more about the ins and outs of government contracting than anybody in the world. Do you know how much people pay to have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours on a webinar for someone to tell them the secrets of government contracting? Holy crap! So much. That's my point. There are so many opportunities that you're missing out on investing in yourself. You have the skills. All you got to do is sit down. So here's your steps. Here are your steps. Ready? Step 1. I want you to sit down and I want you to write down the 10 skills that you have that you could do. You know, I could write great copy. I could do PowerPoint presentations. I can deliver speeches. I know how to wash cars. I don't care. I know government contracting. I mean, what do you do at your job every day that other people know how to do? Sit down and write those down. I know how to write a motivational speech. I know how to give a motivational speech. I have 10 ways for you to do team building at your company. Come up with something. You're doing this right now. You're not just sitting there. You're not just a lump of crap sitting on the couch. You have shit that you can do. Hell, I don't know. Maybe you know how to work the remote control like a professional. Whatever it is, there are some skills that you currently have. Write them down. There's your step 1. Here's your step 2. I want you to take those things and say, what are the 10 things about this one thing that I can teach someone? There are 10 things that I can teach someone right now about writing kick-ass copy. Not kidding you. I could do that off rip. There are 10 things that I can teach someone about having a sales conversation. There are 10 things that I can teach someone about doing a great live stream video. I don't know, right? And by the way, this is one of the ones that I sold. I sold for $247 on LinkedIn how to do live stream videos that sell. Of course, you can do that. And by the way, just to be clear, so I had this lady that wanted to come to my retreat. She wanted to come to the last retreat. And she said straight up, Dawnna, I do not have the money right now to come to the retreat, but I want you to hold a space for me. I'm sending you $500. I was like, wait, what? Like you just said, because usually the conversation goes like this. I don't have the money, so I'm not coming. And she said, I don't have the money. I'm sending you $500. I was like, maybe you don't know how not having the money works, right? And so she goes, nope. She goes, because you know what? If I send you $500, you're going to get on the phone. The next retreat, the boot camp, Nick, to answer your question, is June 5th through June 9th. for the people who are staying at the mansion. And for the people not staying at the mansion, the class is 6th, 7th, and 8th. For the people in the accelerator, which is for business owners, that is the 10th, the 9th through the 14th. All right. Anyway, let me go back. So anyway, this chick hits me up. She's like, I don't have the money. I'm sending you $500. I want to hold your spot. I want you to hold my spot. And then she said, and I go, well, maybe you don't know how this works, but it costs more than $500 to get in the retreat. She goes, I know. She goes, but I know if I give you $500, then you're going to get on the phone and you're going to tell me how to earn the rest of this money. Brilliant. By the way, brilliant tactic. Brilliant tactic. So she literally signs up, and I told her it's non-refundable, it's non-transferable, it's non-cancelable. Are you sure you want to do this? She goes, I'm absolutely sure. Sends me $500, we get on. Not kidding you. 10 minutes later, we're on Facebook Live. Zoom. So we're on Zoom 10 minutes later, and we start talking about her skills. And she goes, great, I'm going to go and put on a class. She legit goes and puts on a class. She doesn't put on the class once like I do, and I'm going to wait 10 days to get however many people in. Nope. She puts on the class. She says, urgent class tomorrow, or in 3 days. And she says what the class is, and I don't remember what it was at the time. But she puts on the class. She comes back to me 5 days later. She goes, here's $1,500. She's $2,000 paid up into a $3,700 bill. Oh, because let's be clear. She didn't want the $2,700 package. Oh, no. She's like, I'm staying at the mansion. She goes, all the crap put aside, I'm staying at the mansion. So then she goes, she sends $1,500. She's $2,000 in. She goes, okay, I'm going to do it again. 2 weeks later, she does the same class again. She reaches out to the people who came to the class, asked them for 3 people that they thought would benefit from the class. So she got all those referrals, plus she rebooted the class, and she added advertisement to the class this time. And I don't mean like she spent thousands. She spent like $200 on advertisement. So if we count that, she's down to $1,800. So she fills this class up. This is what I love. She fills this class up. She gets 20 people in this class. She sells the class for $250. She makes $5,000. She sends me the rest of the money, pays for her ticket to come from overseas, and she stays in the mansion. Now, as if she's not badass enough as it is, she comes to the mansion, she comes to the retreat, she does her homework, she learns all of her stuff that she's supposed to do. She left the retreat on January 21st. By March 4th, she had 22 people signed up in her $1,000 a person class. It was something like that, like $1,000 or $750 or $800, whatever it was. But she made 22 grand 6 weeks. She did exactly what I said. She said, you told me never invest my own money, invest other people's money, be smart enough to know how to get it. Then once you go get it, be smart enough about how to continue doing so. Now she has a builder. She owns TriBuilderNetwork.com. Freaking brilliant. She did exactly what I said. And you know what I loved about her? She never let an excuse get in her way. She never for 1 second let, I don't have money, I don't have time, and I don't have, the ability to do it. She never let that get in her way. She just did it. And you know what? That's why she's freaking successful. And she's getting ready to fill up her next class already because she's brilliant. Because she just said, this is what I'm going to do. And she did it. Excuses are bullshit. They are. So if you want to make money and invest in yourself, you actually have to take the baby steps and do it. No, I'm not telling you that what I'm telling you to do right now is what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. But let me tell you, it doesn't freaking suck to get you started. It really doesn't. Anyway. My name is Dawnna St. Louis, and last thing I'm going to share with you is this. The speaker launch webinar at speakerlaunchformula.com. The speaker launch webinar has already started. It's free. You can go watch it. The speaker launch webinar specifically tells you what are the first 2 steps you need to take in order to get to stages faster, including recognizing what kind of speaker you are and what kind of customers you're working with. The speaker launch bootcamp. The Speaker Launch Bootcamp only has 12 spots available for it. That bootcamp is happening June 5th through 9th. The 6th, 7th, and 8th are the classes. So if you're going to come and you want to stay on site at the boot camp, if you want to stay on site in the mansion, there are only 8 people allowed to stay on site at the mansion. It's only $1,000 if you want to stay on site at the mansion. You only need $1,000 to reserve your room. And then after that, it's 2 payments of $800, of $850. Sounds right. If you want to stay off-site, it's $1,000 down. No, maybe that one's $1,000 down and 2 payments of $850. The $500 down. Right. I'll get it right. The one where you don't stay on site, you only need $500 to get started. The one where you do stay on site, you need $1,000 to get started. That's the easiest way to say it. Those are the 2. That's the major boot camp coming up. There's only 12 people allowed in that one. The accelerator boot camp is for people who are already running a business and they're like, Dawnna, I need clarity and alignment. Something's not quite right. I need to get my business to the next level. If I don't get an alignment, money is not going to continue to flow. That one is happening the 9th through the 13th. Now that one, we only allow 8 people at that one. And that one already has 5 people in it. So there's only 3 spots available. If you're interested in that one, go to mansionretreats.com. That's mansionretreats with an S.com and set up a call with me because yeah, you do have to talk to me to get into either one of these actually. So that's all I got for you guys. But seriously, stop using the excuse of I don't have money because it's a bullshit excuse. Nobody wants to hear it. Quite honestly, nobody wants to hear your sad story. And if you don't have the testicular fortitude or ovarian audacity to tell somebody and be honest and say, listen, I don't have the money. Will you help me? You're not going to get the help. I get people all the time to tell me they don't have money and I help them. I literally help them. And I'm not just blowing smoke. I literally come out of pocket and help people when they ask me for help and they're honest about it. And if I feel like I'm able to help them and that they're real. If I feel like you're full of shit, I'm not going to help you. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Please, please, please take this seriously. This is your life. This is your business. This is getting to the next level. Invest somebody else's money, but you can do this. Seriously. If you guys have questions, send me a private message, DM me, hit me up, ask me here in the chat. I'm here. I hope to see you June 6th through 9th. Yeah, June 6th through 9th or June 9th through 14th. Talk to you guys later.